Hello, my friend.
Hello, my friend, and everyone out there on this most energetically interesting day.
Indeed. Yes, I'm glad we were able to quickly just connect and reassess maybe our energy together.
And understand a few things that are good no matter where you are, what side of anything you're on, or what you're thinking about. And this comes from Buddhist philosophy, the Buddha himself, but also from Pema Chodron. And it is the impermanence of everything.
Mm,
There is nothing in this world that is not changing constantly. And at the same time, this planet is billions of years old and it's still here and it's going to continue to be here, even as our very small experiences, which are very meaningful to the much larger sense to the spiritual world, but they're also impermanent.
mm-hmm.
None of us is guaranteed yet a next moment, let alone tomorrow. And none of us knows for sure what's going to happen in the future,
Yeah.
except that we change constantly. The cellular structure of our bodies changes. We are not the same people we were when we were 5 years old. And we won't be the same people we are now in times to come.
Yeah.
And that's part of the transformation, part of the change that's going on right now. But it's also something that each of us can use as a tool. We like to think that things are going a certain way, that we are, quote, safe, which of course is a myth. None of us is ever safe. And we don't have safety. But if we understand impermanence and we go to grounding instead of what we can perceive as what should be, but just go to grounding to what is right now
Mm,
at this very moment and breathe. Because as these changes happen, and they continue to happen, and they will continue to happen, we can understand from the much larger picture that we are part of this, and our change, what we choose to change, how we choose to see change, and how we choose to see the world we are all creating for the future, then we can see that all these little changes are impermanent, but
mm,
they can add up to something very big if we take our power back and we choose consciously how we react to whatever's happening around us.
mm. Yeah. Yeah. Beautifully said. And, for me, that part of safety comes with the fact that um, I know I'm physically impermanent, right? I change physically constantly, and there, for me, is safety in that spiritual knowing that um, I'm not always going to be here, and yet I will always be loved. And for me, that means safe in a spiritual essence. That's my belief. And whatever it might look like for you or for someone else listening, um, we're allowed to have that sense of safety when we when when we need it. And I always say that as long as it does no harm, right? No harm to self, no harm to others. We can have whatever belief we need, as long as it's, love based perhaps, or kind, or with a compassionate lens, or, you know, that higher vibrational stuff.
And if we understand that our physical forms are only here for a very short time, or are only perceived by us for a very short time,
Yeah.
but that we never end. Our energy is, it is eternal, and it is part of, it came from and was created by and of the source of all things, and it's never going to change, to end.
Yeah, exactly.
And that, to me, that's where safety is in knowing that no matter what happens to this physical form, there's this other part that will never end.
Yeah. Yeah. And the changing that happens there, even, right? Every time we ebb and flow into the physical and out of the physical, we change, we learn, or we didn't and we have to do it again.
And we take
Perhaps.
the experience with us no matter which way it was.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're
Yeah.
always transforming, even in that particular way of looking at things, that perception.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty neat. Thank you for this concept of impermanence today, and the fact that we are always changing, and um, we can be surprised at things that are occurring or come to fruition. Um, yeah, and knowing that we have the comfort of the web that we are all connected to.
And thank you for being a permanent friend in impermanence.
Ditto. Thank you, my dear. That's lovely. Thank you. I hope the rest of your day and your week goes beautifully, as you flow down the impermanent river, as I think it was the Pocahontas movie that said, you never step in the same river twice. So,
Yes.
yeah.
Walk the footsteps of a stranger, and you'll learn the things you never knew you never knew.
Love it. I might have to listen to that soundtrack. Thank you, Lay.
Thank you.
Mwah. Mm.